tough. That's a challenge you probably didn't think of.
You serious? He's like dead serious.
With everything that's going on, like this year is going to be a giant year.
Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Sam's Moving and Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And it is Movified Wednesdays. Woo! Let's go. All right. Welcome, Stephen Reed. This guy is just like all over the map. He's been flying. He's been having meetings. He is a man of many hats. Stephen, welcome.
What's going
Wednesdays. What's going on? And today we also have another celebrity in our midst. We got Austin Yarborough with Central Coast Moving and Pearson's Moving and Storage and Moving Army. Let's go. What's up, Austin?
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Let's have some fun today.
I feel like Austin doesn't have enough on his titles. He just wants to have like this whole list profile of just everything that he's involved in.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
It just keeps it going.
And then
I think like just serial entrepreneur is just easier,
That's
right?
correct. That's perfect. Perfect.
Just like you guys.
That's right.
That's
Trying to be
right.
cool like you guys.
As long as people don't just think that we're just eating cereal all day. I remember when we had Brian Slater on, he was always the guy that's like, before I go to bed, I always like a good bowl of kids cereal. And I was like, you serious? He's like dead serious.
that is a dead serious thing. He loves the cereal.
So he takes being a serial entrepreneur very seriously.
Dun, dun, dun.
Extra seriously.
Austin, you have been a busy boy for the last couple months. I kind of want to dive into right off the bat with you acquiring Pearson's Moving out in Arizona. It's a change. It's a shift. You're in a totally different state, different rules, different laws. I don't even know where to start with all the questions, but bring me to the fact of how that even happened, because there are listeners going, man, you know, I heard that Austin picked up Pearson's. That's wild. He's killing it. And I'm looking now in my area to possibly even take over another moving company that might be there. But, you know, I go online and maybe I search, or I'm kind of putting the feelers out, and there's just nothing in there. But you didn't even do that, right? You kind of hit it from a whole different manifestation of, this is what I'm looking for, and it just came to you. So let's start right from the beginning. Like, how did that even happen to acquire Pearson's?
Thanks for the opportunity, Mark. So it really just happened, you know, when we say manifestation, it's really like the laws of attraction, right? And so when you say something and you put energy behind it, like, you have to be careful what you start saying when you start doing this massive level of action, because these things come true. And then what you are saying behind closed doors are the things that are being said like by other people to other people. So what you're saying really comes out to the universe, whether it's behind closed doors or not. So if you're manifesting that you want to have an opportunity, or you're looking for a salesman, like I just made a video that we're looking for a salesman and punched it into my social media platform. Like, if you're looking for something, start talking about it. Tell everyone, like, I'm looking for movers at my moving company. Hey, I'm at the grocery store. I'm looking for movers at my moving company. And then you're at a realtor event. We're really hiring for some great team members, great people. I'm at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm sharing it. So it's really like just announcing it to the world. And then the traditional way of like acquisitions, like our friend Stephen Mandak, you know, you hire a broker and they go through it and they, you know, analyze the deal. And, you know, I wish I could say like that I had a story where I could give you this clear path, but I really just made a podcast and published it. And I actually sent it to like every moving company owner I knew, not to acquire their company, but to get views on Spotify and YouTube, and to just like get, you know, the new podcast rolling. And so, and then if you kind of fast forward back like to the last 2 to 3 years, I think it says a lot about like what the journey that I've been on. Like when you're making friends with these moving company owners, and like, just like I met you, Mark, like at a Louis Massaro event, and that's where I met Kyle. And that's where so many of the members in the moving army, like, they've met me before. They know who I am, and they know that I've been always trying to bring this industry up since the day day one. I met them, and I probably gave them like a marketing material or handout or some little tip that I was working on. And so I think that's really like those things, like who I was 2 to 3 years ago, led me to today. If you're a good person and you've been a good person, people will remember you as a good person. So when deals and opportunities come up in your life, that the door's already open. And so what I have found is that I put it into the universe and it happened. And I think that that's the true definition of manifestation. And what I've really found with Pearson is that businesses, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, oh, I really want to acquire a company, like that's amazing. And I highly suggest you do it, but make sure your business, and Stephen Reed and Mark have a lot of systems and processes that they do in their business, and they'd be a great mentor for you, because the business that you're going to buy is a reflection of the other business owner. And Kyle Pearson, shout out to him. He's a great guy. And he's been, on board with us for 120 days from the acquisition time to, still present. And so you're buying them. Like they come with this deal because everything in their business reflects them, how they talk to people, who they hire, the equipment they use, how they make decisions, the relationships with real estate agents and other businesses. And so then you have to reflect on your business, which is a reflection of you. And like, are you organized and have you built a team enough to be able to run without you so you can do this other business? Because it is like joining another family, right? Like it's like here's Central Coast, but here's Pearson Moving and Storage. Like this isn't like a small decision. This is like, I have two families, like two lives. And so it's a big decision to make and it's not easy. But the thing is, I've been now introduced to so many amazing people, like shout out to Logan, our ops manager here at Pearson Moving and Storage, and my wife, who's been basically COO of the businesses now that we elevated her role. But it's been amazing. Like now my team is even stronger. And I think that now that we have an operations manager on this side, and then there's systems and processes that I never even thought of, like running gasoline moving trucks, like that wasn't even on the radar.
If you're considering Snowball, just do it.
Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we had 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
We recently hired Ready Rolls to help us with hiring some offshore help, some VAs, and they've done an amazing job. They found the perfect candidate for our company to fill the right role for our company. And not only that, they helped us answer any questions that we had about the process. Initially, hiring a VA can be a bit intimidating, but they answered all the questions. It's been an amazing experience. Our VA has been a huge part of our success thus far. We're actually in the process of hiring a few more right now. Definitely see them as being a key part of our growth and reaching our goals in 2025. So, the game changer for our company, I'm confident will be a game changer for you as well.
Visit www.readyrolls.com. There is now a better way to scale.
So, but now I'm like, holy cow, like there's less maintenance costs. It's a lot easier to replace a motor. So I'm like, 2-man in trucks doing this, U-Haul's doing this, College Hunks is doing this. A lot of other moving company owners are doing this for their local trucks. And I'm like, maybe that's the move. So to summarize up, if you really want something and your heart's set on it, start saying it out loud. And then it will happen. I promise you, if your heart's into it and you're committed, it will happen.
So you summarized it. Thank you, Austin. That was a long summary, but I appreciate it.
Woo! Let's go.
I love you, buddy. So you have this out there. You send out the video out to a bunch of moving companies. Kyle ends up reaching out to you, kind of throwing out, saying, "Hey, listen, I'm actually looking to kind of get out of the game." You go out there, and we've talked about this off the podcast one-on-one, where when we talk about acquiring businesses, and I love acquisitions, you just like you said earlier, you have to look, and this is like so important when you're looking at a moving company. You have to look at how it's run and who is running it. And definitely a shout out to Kyle, because you kind of walked in there going, wow, this company has already a strong cultural built. And now I'm coming in here to fine tune it. I'm going to fine tune in the sales. We're going to expedite this company. We're going to grow it. And we're going to take the the Austin Yarborough formula, and we're going to fucking kill it. And that's so far what you're doing. So so it's dude, it's amazing. And it's amazing when you look at that, because you have a structure. And this is a huge, shout out to you, Austin, because you put together a foundation over at Central Coast where you built on who you had there with guys like Jay, guys like Nate, that have really taken a step up and a larger role within the organization to make it where it's at, so that you as the owner can step away. I remember when we first met back in 2022, it was a struggle for you, right? How much trust do I want to put into my guys? This is my baby. I'm trying to grow this company. I'm trying to put all this time and effort into it. I'm not too sure if this person's going to be the right person for that role, and how am I going to build on this company, from the mobile storage and the trucks, everything. And you, as an individual and as an owner, have put so much time and money in your own personal growth, which I think is huge. To having that resonate on the management team that you have, so that it has allowed you to go, hey, I can copy and paste this model and put it into another moving company. There are so many times where a moving company owner goes, oh, hey, I want to acquire this moving company. They have a couple trucks. They're doing pretty good, maybe $500,000 or $1 million in sales. And it's a shit buy. Why? Because the company was ran so poorly. The trucks were never properly maintained. You walk in there, they have a bad name, maybe within the community or in the industry. You think that you're getting a sweet deal. You're like, man, like based on my purchase, it's almost going to cover just the cost of the trucks. I have the guys. These guys have been around, let's say for 15 or 20 years. But you walk in there and you're like, what did I just get myself into? I'm going to have to put way more work into it than I ever did. And I have to fire basically half the staff. When you get the opportunity, and that really speaks highly on manifesting the right company, the right purchase, and making it work, and taking your model and duplicating it, it's killer. So kudos to you. That's my shout out to you, buddy. I love you. I think it's fantastic of what you're doing. But I want to take this to the next step. You didn't just go buy another moving company in California, where you understood the states, you understood how the labor laws work, you understood the structures of what it's going to take to you're like that geographical area, right? Like, it's like, okay, cool. I'm up here. We're buying something in like San Diego or San Francisco. Like, it's an easy, adaptable situation. You went all the way to Arizona. How has that been a change? And what were some of the learning curves that you quickly had to adapt to when it came to the hires, like your team, of like how payroll went, and also how it went with structuring the hourly rates, making sure that you were following the different laws? Like, were there some hiccups in the beginning that you had to like overcome?
Yeah, great questions, Mark. So I guess the first hiccup was like getting everything switched, right? Like, I actually documented the process and in my acquisition playbook that's coming out at post movers and shakers event. And because I like step by step, I'm like, okay, these are the things that moving companies are going to need to know when they're acquiring another moving company. And so it was a giant shift, but the big shifts was like, okay, the phones and sales. And then I want to say the phones and the sales were like the biggest shift. Oh, and then the software, phone sales software, because Smart Moving had like two different, we use Smart Moving at Central Coast Moving and Pearson. And so we had two different accounts, and then it's actually cheaper to add a second branch to the Central Coast one, and rather than navigate and toggle two. And then so the biggest challenge was the communication process. So now I had to make a dual logo. So Central Coast, X, Pearson Moving and Storage, treat them like a different branch. All the SMS templates that we do on follow-ups, trying to get a hold of clients and text messages, and then for Central Coast Custom and then Pearson. So if you are going to acquire another moving company, I highly suggest that you use the same name, because two different names is now two different things that you're now going to have to work with. And then now we have
same problem I had. I found that out the hard way too. Try to do every workaround possible, even having two separate smart movings, like for the logos and stuff. It's just tough. It's not set up that way. But yeah, that's a challenge you probably didn't think of prior going to that.
100%. And then so now we have this phone line that was going to this Ring Central, and then this phone line going to this one. So I was like, okay, let's take these two phone lines and then take them in to one, and then have this master phone number. So now we have an 888-412-2407. I memorized it in the car, made my team memorize it. 888-412-2407. And so now we brand each company locally with local phone numbers, but we have a master HQ number on all the correspondence with clients. And so, or you could customize it, but HQ line sounds kind of cool to me with an 888 number. So that was like a big shift on the sales side. And so that was like one of the biggest shifts. And
being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google. No one's gonna call. No one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first, so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
Are you a mover looking to make an impact? Discover Moving Letters AI and join the ML Plus Club today. Elevate your customer engagement with the personal touch of handwritten letters.
If you want to take your company to that next level, it's the only way to subscribe. If you're doing anything but Moving Letters AI, you need to get on it. So it's going to take your business to that next level. You're going to see an increase in that revenue. Let's go.
I highly recommend using this company. They're amazing to work with. They even send you an email on how much work they're producing for you.
Don't miss out. Join the revolution and start making moves that matter.
Put a golden damn ticket in there with Moving Letters AI.
And then did you combine sales, or did you take what you know in your team and take over, or what did that kind of look like, or what does it look like now?
that's a great question. So I had to take a step back with like, well, how do we want this to work? And because Central Coast is about 4 times the size of Pearson. And so I wanted our sales team, and look, I said at the beginning of the year, like our minimum goal was 30% more than last year for Central Coast. And so my team looks at it every single year, like, holy shit, like this guy's crazy. And then sure as heck, I bought a 7-figure company to get us right at the goal. And then I was like, all right, new goal, moving the goalposts on them. And Pearson at the time, like Kyle was doing all the sales. So we were now doing more volume with the same amount of salespeople at Central Coast. And now we need to do more volume with 2 companies. So I just want to give a real shout out to our ops manager, Nate Avery, who is technically ops supervisor now.
Shout out, Nate.
Shout out, buddy.
In his first month, I'm going to get him to change his Instagram to Nate the Closer instead of Nate at Central Coast Moving, because Nate is a closer, baby. So the thing is, your operations is very qualified to do sales. Once they're polished and refined, to do the sales side of it. They know the business and they blood, sweat, and tear invested into it. And so what was really interesting is his first month in sales, he did $100,000. His first month in sales. And so that's a testament to everyone in operations. If you're listening to this and you're thinking you're weak in sales, no, you're not weak. You just haven't trained enough. You haven't put in the reps. You haven't role played every single day for the last year. You haven't practiced objection handling where you could walk in the dark with your eyes closed and walk backwards and handle sales objections. That's how you have to know it. And Nate has been putting in the work the last year and a half with my sales team. We had a sales coach professionally. Once a week we met. We watched training videos every single day. So it's the things you're doing now are the things you'll be doing on a whole different 10th power in the future. You just don't know it yet. And so how you're training right now, putting in the reps, is going to allow you to go like a rocket ship in the future. And that's where Mark, tying it back into the self-development. Like I've spent over $100,000 this year on self-development for myself. I have a social media coach. I have I have a advertising coach. I have a sales coach, and I have like just a lifestyle leadership coach. And then I've got everyone else surrounding by me. So it's like coaching, everyone in the moving army is like coaching each other. And so to say that like you're done in education or you're not you know it all is like you're always going to be a student. Even the coaches have coaches, like all the way up to Tony Robbins. And so like if you're not like investing into being coached, like all these scripts and things that I'm using for the for the movers and shakers event, like you're not putting in the reps to train to the next level.
Oh no, I was going to touch on the ops side. Man, I firmly believe in that. My sales guy, my main guy, I dragged him through the mud in every operations position you could ever want until we found him a home. And I really hadn't heard anybody else that sells more than him in the year. And he's not a personality you would hire in an interview. You wouldn't say, boom, this guy sells, but he knows so much about moving and cares about people and learned it through experience that guys, do not burn out an ops guy before looking at sales for them. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there to our listeners. Try them out if you're about to lose somebody because of work-life balance or whatever it is. I lucked into mine, and he has changed my life putting him in that position. So it sounds like Austin's having a lot of success with Nate there in that transition as well. So I wanted to share that. Let's stop there a little bit.
I used to always say that, a really strong server that can sell you on all the different types of foods can upgrade you from, instead of getting that pasta, you're getting the Wagyu steak, is when they start off in the kitchen. When they understand the product that's being made, they understand how it's being cooked, they understand the quality of what that chef is doing and the sous chef and putting everything all together, they are going to kill it on the floor. When they don't understand it and they're like, oh, let me get back to you and everything else, you've automatically changed your mind within seconds. So when you have someone that has been doing operations, that understands the struggle of the guys, has jumped on a truck, been to a job site, selling, if they're good at selling, I mean, you have gold. You are going to fly with this individual because they can take it to the next level because they understand what the process is. You're not just going, here you go, here's your sales script, follow this is what it is. They're going to be able to listen to that customer when they're saying, well, look, I got a 2-bedroom and it's a flight of stairs, it's a townhouse. Oh, okay, great. You're going to need this. Boom, 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 boom. They're not going to have to go, oh, well, a second. They're flipping through pages. They're trying to understand the sales script because they're trying to find the right answer. No, it's already done. And don't rely on the CRM to build you that out, because experience is going to be way over key than an automated program that's going to pump out some type of detail.
Customers are looking for solutions, right? That's why ops nails it. They're not calling for us they have a move. They don't call it just to chit chat with us. Although Austin might have some people chit chat. He's at such a great brand and to learn other things, but usually they don't chit chat with us. They have something they have to do. And so operations guys tend to be solution oriented, and that works out well instead of the fluff, is what I find.
We're gonna flip the script here a little bit, because the big reason why I wanted Austin on today is we have a big event that's coming on at the end of April. Movified is going to be there. We're a sponsor. We got Maddie Mailers with movingletters.ai. He's going to be down there, explain to you why you should be going with movingletters.ai and how it's a proven method to get those mailers out and those handwritten letters. And the ones that are actually going to be at this event can testimonial say how much money they are producing based on showing on the referrals of these mail outs, and it's killing the game right now. But those are just vendors. I'm just a schmuck that's going to be there, being the token bald guy that wants to go do a couple push-ups and learn what's happening at this movers and shakers event. Austin, let's talk about the Moving Army. Let's talk about this event. Like, fill me in and why everybody needs to be at this event.
Yeah, I mean, this event, the thing that's worked well for me is that I've tread a new path, right? I'm trailblazing. And that, I love the moving specific events. Like, I love hearing speakers talk about their businesses and everything like that. But the thing is right now, everyone else in our industry is doing the same thing. Like, they're all listening to the same speakers. They're all doing the same thing. They're starting to do mailers. They're all listening to Movified podcast. And so, like, what are you doing differently? Right? Especially on Wednesdays. But like, what are you doing differently? And like, where are you training? Because like, what I don't feel like what is being taught is that there's someone on the front lines. Like, I'm going to teach on acquisitions. Why? Because I've done an acquisition. I'm in the middle of doing an acquisition. I'm qualified to do an acquisition. I know what it feels like, and I know exactly. I'm really close, and I know what it feels like to do an acquisition in 2025. I'm qualified to teach on that. Okay, so social media. One could argue that your personal brand is the biggest KPI you should be watching right now, because money follows attention, and influence gets attention, right? So how much influence do you have on your viewers in your community? Like, you say you want to build a giant brand, but what about your brand? Austin Yarborough was hiding behind Central Coast Moving for the past 7 years. Now Austin Yarborough is number one on top of other brands. And so that's the big change for me it's that, like, I found my brand. I'm punching out Austin Yarborough content. I'm bringing people in on my journey, my lifestyle, who I am, and showing you my buckets of things like leadership, social media, sales, fitness, different elements that I have in my life, and accountability and discipline. And so that's been really, what I'm able to do in the Moving Army is really bring other moving company owners together and start like building their, personal brands on social media and things like that. Also at this event, one thing that's changed my life, and you guys can testify for this because I think, Steven, you were there, but when Andy pulled me up on stage, and like, it was a wake up call to bring Lauren into my life. At that time, we weren't even engaged. I was planning it. I think I had the ring. But she wasn't in my business and at all. But the fact is, the woman at home, or Nan, whoever's listening to this, and so they're also one of your business partners. They may not be on the title of your business, but you come home, you share it. They live it, they experience it, they take vacations with you, and you talk about it. And like, they talk about it with you, even when they tell you to shut up and quit talking about it. And so like, they're with you on this journey. And so you don't have to work with them, but knowing in your heart and in your mind that they are a business partner, and that, like, I saw Tim Krupp at one of the relationship events out at the Lion's Den. Like, there's things that once you start aligning your personal life and your professional life together, they start working in harmony. And especially with my wife, like, when we stopped working against each other and when, like, she has her job, she worked at the chamber at the time and had her mobile bartending business, and I had the moving business. When we started working together, we've done leaps and bounds, and our team has leveled up because I'm a better leader when I have her by my side, and she's been wanting to go to war with me. If you're listening to this and your wife probably wants to go to war with you, you just haven't asked her yet to join you in the front of the battle. And so, in addition to that, like, because we've been aligning ourselves, we've been able to do so much more. She was on board to move. And so we did move to Arizona. We still have her house in California. Sorry, I'm in a podcast right now. But like that's just been a huge chance. Shout out to Lauren.
Shout out.
She literally walked
Get
in.
Lauren out of here. You should tell her you should be sitting in on this. I'm sitting here praising you right now.
Her
That's
ears
right.
are burning a little bit on that side.
That's right.
That was right. And so when you're aligning yourself, you're just working together, because the real thing is, here's the secret. 1 + 1 = 3. I have Lauren's brain, I have my brain, and then we have our third brain together. And that is the magic. That's the secret sauce. Like everyone wants this crazy strategy and all this crazy like how-tos and stuff. But like, that's the simple thing is alignment. Like, like mentally, physically, and spiritually, like we're on a journey. We're going to the gym every single day. We're doing all the things together. And it's like, we're aligned. And then Lauren will catch things that I don't catch. And then she is better at like speaking with the team about things that I don't, exactly like my level of expertise. And so to say that, like, I guess the real question is like, who in your life are you overlooking that is literally right next to you or under your nose? That could be, for me, it was an operations manager overlooking when the universe was telling me that he could be really good at sales, but I didn't listen to it. Shout out to Jay, who always mentioned it. And I was like, no, he's amazing at operations. And then, but like, there's just, team members on your team or people in your life that you're overlooking that have a giant potential. And maybe you haven't invited them in on this journey with you, because to think that this journey is just for me is selfish. And to think that the thing is that everyone in your company is replaceable, and so are you. So where do you need to be replaced in your business, and who are you overlooking that could replace you? That's really a good summary of it.
That's awesome. I got a few questions. So like at the event, how many days is it?
It's a good question. April 28th, April 29th are the official dates. So it's a 2-day event. That being said, VIP is where you want to be. On Sunday, I was going to do a hike, but I think it's going to be a little too hot here. So we're doing a private gym session at the High Gym. And then we've rented out a pickleball court for lunch and spending time together. So everyone's invited to the gym. VIP's going to pickleball. And that's on Sunday, April 27th. And then on April 30th, we are doing a VIP tour of Pearson Moving and Storage with a catered breakfast. So if you're looking and thinking about coming to the event, there's, message me to reach out, official Austin Yarborough on Instagram. That's the best way. Or text me 805-441-6118 and ask me about the event. And like, I'd like to hear, as host, I want to hear your non-negotiables, what you want to achieve from this event, because my job is to exceed your expectations and create realistic outcomes at the end of this event. And so you're walking away with a breakthrough or two. And you've met some badass people that took the initiative to come to an event like this and take a risk in an event that is just beginning. It's different. It's not moving company speakers. I love moving companies and I love it, but it's different. It's intentionally different. It's intentionally has a discounted price for your wife to come. So there's things in this next chapter that I want to put us off balance. I want to challenge our comfort. I want to challenge you if you've been going on your own lone wolf journey and not bringing others and investing in other people's and to your team. Because when I brought my team to events like this, and they were like $1,000, $1,500 tickets, flying to Arizona and taking my team to things, it has changed their lives. Like Nate, if you look on our Instagram, in 2024, you saw this photo of him. And then 2025, he's Nate the freaking closer. And it's just changed his life. Like Jay is out here doing record months, like blowing past, like, gosh, like we used to do that much in 1 year when I first started this business. And I was doing it in a month. We did like, for Central Coast Moving, we did 600,000 in sales last month. Like that's freaking kick ass. Like that's a record, man. Like over, damn near or over $500,000. Like now it's like, okay, next year we're going after, maybe we'll hit $1 million this year. Let's do it.
Right. You got on stage, you jumped on, talked to Andy Elliott, started to see a few things differently. Right. And from there, boy, You're on fire, Austin. I see it. All of us see it in the industry. I'm thankful for it. I always like to play tag. I like to reach out and see how I can help somebody and then see if it comes back. It doesn't matter if they don't. There's plenty of people that want to play tag. Austin, you are killing it in the game of tag. You got a whole army behind you that you've tagged. So I just kind of want to run down this event. You went to this event. It torched you. You saw things a little bit differently. And now you're bringing your own style to like, this changed my life. I'm addicted to it. I want to change others' lives. And from what you've learned in this last couple of year journey, you're wanting to say, hey guys, let's join the army. Let's get together. Let's have that same switch. And that's what you're kind of explaining on that trip. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, sorry, I get a little bird walk because I get so excited. Thanks for
No,
reeling me back
it's
in.
great. It's great. But
That's what me and Steven are here
this
for.
is a hell of a value if that's the case.
Dude, I knew my
damn
bumpers were bowling.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for those 2 days, what are the main focus points? Like,
So
you don't have to give me a full schedule, but what are the main focus?
Yeah, so let me pull it up. So, obviously we want to focus on leadership. That's a huge thing. And then relationships and aligning yourselves in your life. Social media, building a personal brand, and then customer experience and over delivering. And then
what you're bringing, are you bringing like what you've learned from a coach and how you've invested in social media brand? Because you're killing it.
Yeah.
You're killing it. I mean, I want to
Thank
learn
you.
from you. You're doing an amazing job, right? And so you're bringing what you've learned from your coach and what you've dialed in that event. Because that alone,
yeah, man,
that alone is a hell.
I mean,
of a
I've got the playbooks too. Like at this event, I really just want to change lives. Like this event, like this isn't a money maker event. The tickets are priced high because I paid over 6 figures to host the event. That's just the event. That's not including the ads, the platforms, all the other things. Like this isn't a money maker. This is literally to invest in this next chapter. The Moving Army is basically, so everyone loves Facebook and the Facebook group, like shout out to Moving Company Owners Unite. Like that has changed my life. I just felt like we need something more dynamic. We need something that is just tapped in and that like I can basically control the narrative of what they're learning and then obviously bring in new information to them, but they're the right people. That's mainly, I just wanted to bring the right people in together to change each other's lives. And that's what we've done. And so I'm just watching, like, shout out to like Murdoch's moving team. Like last year, I think they did only like 700K and like, I don't know, it was March or 70K. And then in 1 month. And then but then they came into the month at like 200,000. Like, so practicing role plays and Murdoch's team is putting in the freaking work. There's like Karsten's team with Kinetic Movers, like all these companies like Graceful Moves, Miracle Movers, like these teams are putting in the freaking work every single week, watching the videos, and they're getting
great
massive
guys.
leads.
Amazing guys on that too, and seeing all of them that I was talking about is straight up social media game, business growth, personal. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing before and after. I know all these guys he's talking about. Shout out to Nasty. But man, you guys are like you guys are killing it, and it's a great thing that you're doing. I just wanted to point that out. Is there any reason why, like right before peak season, do you think that's a great time to kind of ignite and say, hey, let's turn it on right now and make advantage of tomorrow?
I really thought that. So, I mean, I really wanted to bring Andy Elliott in here to do objection handling and sales training because like I think the moving industry wanted that and they didn't get that. So that was like a big motive. But also like this year, I mean, we just had an election. So I think a lot of sales were kind of suppressed. I think that a lot of people were stressed out. The real estate market hasn't like actually blown off. And so with everything that's going on, like this year is going to be a giant year. And I believe that September, the Moving Titans, like that's a mandatory event for us all to go to. And so they're going to do something end of the year. I was like, well, why don't I do something in the spring? Like we're not too busy to do things right now, or majority of us, like we're taking vacations in April. And so it's a perfect time. Like, why not double down? before the biggest summer of our lives, and now make these ultimate action taker connections. And it's gonna be an intimate event. Like, it's not meant to be 300 plus moving company owners. Like, I'm around 100 moving company owners and their teams is what I'm looking for at this event. And because there's like, we're doing private dinners, private lunches, things like that. It's in an intimate setting, closed room. It's not a giant conference hall. So it's just different. And so that's what I want. I want people to be now deciding to make decisions on self-investment, because we're really not in we don't have a business. Like, we're on a self-development journey. That's what we're all on. And so when we start treating it like that, I'm on a self-development journey and I'm the biggest bottleneck in my business. Like, I can tell you this, I 100% am the biggest bottleneck in my business. And since I've been selling tickets to this event, that's like, I would say 90% of my week is now on this event. It's actually pulled me way out of Pearson and Central Coast. And it's allowed my team to level the heck up. And like, geez, maybe I needed the event more than everyone else needed the event for an opportunity to take one step back, to take two steps forward in my company.
I love that reflection. I find that every time I go away on vacation or every time I step away, I'm always, my wife's always one of those people that says, I watch you 100% could be working at least 3 days at home and like staying out of the office. She's like, but I know you just want to go to the office. You just want to be in the mix. You want to, I agree with Austin. A lot of us business owners, we tend to be the bottleneck within the company because we want to be still our hands in everything. It's our baby. This is what's going on. And the moment I go away for a couple of weeks, or the moment like I'm stepping away and I put a lot more time into the Movified podcast and networking and being out in the community and allowing my team to grow, a lot of the responsibilities that I constantly took on myself to handle, they're handling it. And I like it because I can come in, they give me a report, they tell me what's going on. We have quick, small debriefs, and business resumes as usual. And our sales actually increase and less problems increase and more communications happening in the office because I'm not stepping in all the time to wonder what's happening or how do I do, let me do this, let me do that, right? So I can totally see that. Austin, as we wrap this up, I kind of want to just quickly touch on, we talked about how to connect with you for this Movers and Shakers event that's happening. And for those that are listening, go get your tickets. There's only a limited amount left. Austin is practically sold out. So reach out to him today. When you're listening to this podcast, reach out to him, because by the time this comes out, you're going to be down to like 10 days, 15 days left to go. So 2 weeks out to the event, you want to quickly grab on to this amazing event, because the speakers that Austin has, Austin, who's going to be speaking there, the individuals that are going to be attending, it's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. It is going to be one of those things you're going to walk away from going, I am ready to kill it this summer because I now have some new tools to learn and grow with my team. So get on it. I'm going to flip it as we finish this off to the Moving Army. The Moving Army to me is quite inspiring, because you're not just grabbing in everybody. You're not just focusing on the owners. You're not just focusing on the sales team. You are blending a mixture of both. The accountability that happens on Mondays with the business owners and then their teams. And then on Fridays, you're doing the sales calls. Finish off this event or this podcast with one of the biggest things that you guys discuss on Fridays on the sales calls and why it's so important.
Yeah, so thank you, Mark. So Mondays we do accountability calls, challenges to champions on Pacific Standard Time. It's 8:30 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. So it's 45 minutes, and I tend to go over for the owners just because I'm honestly more invested into them. And then 9:15 to 10 a.m. on Monday is the teams. And your teams have dreams too. And that's why it's important for the accountability call with them. And the accountability is the self-development too. Like, we're working month by month on goals, personal, professional, and then we analyze our bottlenecks and we redo them every single month. And then on Fridays, we do a role play, and that's with everyone. Like, and what's funny is everyone tries to call me up to, I've gotten calls out to come on the role play, and I'm like, look, man, I'm the coach. Like, does the NFL coach come on the field and throw a quarter and, try to play quarterback? No, he's here to coach. He's here to analyze and give you and train and study on the back end to give you their best. And so what I'm doing, I do it pretty simple. I do pros, cons, and then tips. And so when we're doing the role plays, like, I always have some sort of message on Monday and Friday, like what I'm working on, what I'm teaching, and what's the latest. And so, like, today, on this last Friday, the what we're focusing on is disarming clients, because clients are in either 3 states of mind. So they're in fight, flight, or disarmed. And so you can disarm your clients by using terms like, you want to change your tonality, but, like, before I go, like, totally off the record, what was your biggest concern? If your wife is on board, like, what would be the biggest concern about the move? And then, like, I don't know what it does, but I know it works. And I think the main objections come up because of fear. And so what we're doing is practicing with pressure to alleviate fear from clients who we work with on the other side of the phone. So you can use other terms like, you don't have to make a decision today, right? And then you allow the client to be in control of conversations too. Like, just so I know that I'll be available for you. What time were you thinking of calling me back? So you can allow them to guide it, but still you're deciding what time in your call queue that you want to be able to connect with them. And so,
Please pause. If you're listening and you're already writing this stuff down, I'm stopping Austin because I don't want to give any more. I want you to go check it out. I want you to go sign up for Moving Army, at least for a month, and see what you think of it, because you're going to walk away, for you and your team, with gold and nuggets to make sure that you're handling objections. Those objections, and finding out just like how to rechange the way we think. We always said, hey, let's pencil this in. Hey, book now, right? Oh, hey, great. Can I make sure that you're scheduled in? And I'll take away one of the great things that I learned with Austin and being part of the Moving Army is our team now constantly says, let me get you a reservation. We want to reserve that date in for you. And it has changed the way our customers are thinking. Oh, great, I got that reservation. Why? What happens when we go to a hotel? What is if we book something?
I like how you paused Austin and were like, I'm not going to let you give anymore. And then immediately gave an Austin tip, like a little bit. And this is what I learned. Okay.
I'm stealing it. I know. That's funny.
But there's many more. Many more.
There's many more. There's just calling out. You want to know more? Go join the Moving Army. All you're doing is investing 2 hours a week, and then the time you want to put in with your team. It is a great community. It's a great community of individuals. There are husband and wife teams. There are great female sales individuals and consultants that are killing it on there, and other gents that you can see the growth each week, each call, as they're learning and gaining more experience. That's the only way you do it, right? Amazing. Repeat, rinse, right? Rinse and repeat. Just keep practicing, and you're going to get better. If you don't,
it goes down in the DMs. How do we get a hold of Austin? Right.
How do we get a hold of you, buddy? Say it one more time.
So reach out on Instagram at official Austin Yarborough. If you can't spell my last name, it probably will pop up. I've got a big yellow background on my photo to build more influence when my name pops out on the Instagram stories. Or you can text me, 805-441-6118. That's my direct cell number. And
gosh, this man just read from the book of Mike Jones. I mean, it's great. He's giving it out. I love it. He's accessible. He's approachable. He's everywhere. I love everything about it.
Let's go, buddy.
So the thing is that I'm your coach Mondays and Fridays, but I'm not the only one included in this deal. You get 50 other moving company owners just like you right now, and 50 other team members in this group. I have a private group chat with all of them that we're constantly, because I'm your coach, but these are your consultants. And that's the difference. It's like, I'm here to motivate you, build you up, but you can consult with them all the time. And I think it's created a culture, and it's a new chapter. It's a lifestyle. It's maxing out push-ups every single day in the morning at 5-6 a.m. And it's just alignment. Like, there is a greater cause. There's individuals like Steven the moving titans, Mark, Matt with Moving Letters AI. There's leaders, like a lot of the super move team, a lot of the, there's a lot of companies out there right now that want to see you win more than ever because they know it's been a cold, hard winter and they want to be. So allow yourself to invest. And you don't have to join the moving army. You don't have to make a decision today. You don't even have to come to my event. But what I am asking you is to really now focus on this next chapter, which is self-development. Start reading every single night. Start making more time for your wife. Start hitting the gym more often and start building your personal brand. You start doing those things, you're going to see your business grow and you're going to go to the next level.
What's
Keep
the book
listening
we need
to
to
more
read?
Movified. Keep listening to Movified. That's right.
What's the book?
The book right now is $100 million leads. It's been very tactical. Alex Hormozi, brain is, dude, he's hardwired. Like, man, he's so tactical. So
Bam,
if you
bam,
like
bam,
tactics,
bam, bam. Yeah.
it's like bam, 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 and like I have to like only do bite-sized information.
See, I love like I'm so like, my mind's kind of like this. I go to chapter 7 like he does, so I love his stuff. The deep style he's got.
Hey, this is great. I'm so happy to have Austin on. Steven, you're always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. This is great. If you want more information, you heard it. Austin's giving out his phone number. He's giving out the DMs. He wants you to message him. And make sure you're going to come out and check out this event. Go check out the Moving Army. Keep following. If you're looking for a VA, go check out Ready Rolls. Like, we're going to plug it all today. And for everybody else,
ROLES, Ready Rolls.
That's right. Rolls right off your tongue. Stay Movified, everybody. And until next time, have a good one.